Namaste, everyone. This is our gentle and restorative practice for this week in May. And I wanted to share something that we're going to put into practice a little bit later. This is something that was taught to me a number of years ago, and I don't use it all the time, but I do use it on occasion. I don't have my pendulum with me, but those little pendulums that you can use. Some people will use it when ladies are pregnant to see if it goes one direction or another, to see if it's boy or girl. Sometimes we use it to check the chakras to see if they're balanced or imbalanced. But you can actually use one of those if you cup your hand and then you station your other elbow like on a wood table. Now, you would want to make sure that the airflow was pretty non-existent in the room, meaning you were not sitting underneath an air conditioning vent. And you would also want to make sure, again, that your arm is super stable, that you're not shaky, and that you're being very intentional. But basically what you would do to use this pendulum is to sit there and center and breathe and ground yourself into your body, calm all thoughts down in your mind, so that when you're needing to pose a question, maybe you're uncertain about a direction or a choice that you need to make, you could say a prayer, you could ask the higher power to give you the symbol for yes or no, and you would ask it specifically, give me the sign for yes or give me the sign for no. You could also call in your angels or spirit guides or your higher self to help with this. And basically the first thing you would do with it hanging out over your palm is give me a sign for yes. And so for me personally, the sign for yes, it just swings back and forth. And then if I ask it to send me a sign for no, it goes sideways. And then I can be in the question of what I want to ask, and I'll get a yes or no. And you don't have to rely on that, because the point of yoga is to remember to follow the inner compass of your heart, to get more tapped into your intuitive guidance. But sometimes those little tools can be helpful. There's another tool that I wanted us to do, and this is what we'll put into practice whenever we get up to stand today. When you are sitting or standing, you can basically use your body instead of an extra tool, and you can basically stand there and be in the question of give me a sign for yes, give me a sign for no. Now, it's going to show up different for every single person. I did this with my friend Allison a couple weeks ago, and she had never done this before. And I told her I usually get a rocking forward and back, kind of like the pendulum swinging back and forth for yes. And my body actually slightly sways, and it may not be visible to the eye. I'm making it visible to the eye right now, but it may be very subtle and internal that only I experience, a little rocky back and forth for no. Hers was different though. She got a warm sensation on the side of her face and jaw for yes, and then she got a pinch in her hip for no. And so I just did this at the studio before coming home to do this online class with you. And there were a few people that were shy about speaking up when we were talking about it in class, but after class, they wanted to share. And one of the gentlemen that was there, he said he got the rocking forward for yes, and he got a prickly sensation, like something was jabbing one of his toes on his right foot for no. And then another lady spoke up and said she got a sensation on the side of her face for yes, that was very warm. And then she got a cold sensation close to her ear on the opposite side for no. So like I said, it could be very, very subtle, but we're going to experiment with this today just so that you have this tool available if you need it. So since we're going to do a blend of gentle and restorative, I want us to start in a restorative back bend. Please know that if you don't have a bolster, you can fold up a blanket long ways in half and design it to be like a mini bolster. Let's have all the tools available: blocks, bolster, strap, blanket. And we'll start off sitting on the floor with the bolster coming to the low back, and we're rolling down over the cross, finding a position for the legs to be straight. And then you're going to turn your palms open, spreading your arms out, not as wide as a T, but not on the mat either. And close your eyes. And as you're developing a deep diaphragmatic breath, as you're inhaling, maybe at first feeling the belly swell. Maybe on the next couple breaths, breathing up into your heart. Feeling the chest rise on the in-breath. On your next couple rounds of breath, maybe breathing up past the heart and spreading through the collarbones. And on your next couple rounds of breath, sending your drishti, your inner gaze, towards the mind's eye, and feeling as though you're pulling the energy up towards the brow. And from that concentration at your third eye, in the next couple rounds of breath, drop back into your heart. And then follow the breath down into the belly. Your next couple breaths, try to breathe down into your hips. And then concentrate on sending the out breath all the way down into your legs and the soles of your feet. Now feel as though you can surrender to the organic supply of your breath without any manipulation. And then draw the feet a little closer together. Inhale, slide your left foot back, bending the left knee only. And then as you exhale, turn open from the hip. So you're in a back bend, but you're also creating a reclined tree or half butterfly. If you need a blanket, pillow, or block stuffed under the knee, feel free to supply it. Otherwise, just hang out here. And then affirm mentally within, with calm faith, I am opening myself to more light. Calm faith, I am opening myself to more light. Inhale, lift the left knee, slide the leg out. Exhale, slide your right foot in and open from that hip. Again, adding any extra support if necessary. Otherwise, just being here and opening up the hip joint. calm faith, I open myself to more light. So please know that even restoring the back bend is great for our backs, our postures, our spine, our inner organs, our lungs, especially. Now we're going to this right foot kind of tucked in towards us, but we're going to slide the left foot in to join. So it's not where the soles of the feet meet, it's where one foot is in front of the other. Notice right now how the right foot's closer to the pubic bone. Left foot is more out front. Because we're eventually going to swap this positioning. Let's hold a few more breaths. Then let's switch the feet. So bring the left foot closer to you. So now the right foot is out in front. It's like a modified Siddhasana. Check in to see how your hips are responding. Remembering if you need to prop knees, you can stuff a blanket block or pillow underneath. And then let's go ahead and slide the legs back out. And once the legs are straightened, We're going to do a little pranayama, a little breath work here where it's 3 short, sharp in-breaths through the nose that sound like this, followed by a long exhale through the mouth that sounds like this. Let's begin. Short in-breath, pause, short in-breath, pause, short in-breath, pause, and take a long exhale. Short in-breath, pause, short in-breath, pause, short in-breath, pause, and take a long exhale. Again, short in-breath, pause, short in-breath, pause, short in-breath, pause, and take a long exhale. Now with deeper awareness, short in-breath, feel it from the pubic bone to the ribs, short in-breath, deep cavity of the chest, short in-breath, feel it lift the collarbones, and take a long out breath. Short in-breath, fill up 1/3 of the lungs, short in-breath, 2/3 of the lungs, short in-breath, full capacity, and exhale, let it all go. Now, let's inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, be planted on the feet. Inhale, let the knees rock over to one side. And on the exhale, rock to the opposite side. Be slow and deliberate with your breath. And slow and deliberately and intentionally rocking the knees to sync the two together. And sometimes these twists can be really helpful to discomforts and aches and minor pains that we can get in the low back. And the next time you send the knees over to the right, go ahead and roll to that side, push down into your left hand, and build yourself up for a seat. I would suggest using that bolster sideways to sit on. And then grab your strap. If you have an exceptionally long strap, maybe fold in half. Because we're going to inhale, lift the arms and the strap overhead. Now continue to reach up and out of your hips. Reach up, out of your waist. Opening up space in the ribs and in between each vertebra. And on your next out breath, slowly begin to casually lift to one side, ensuring that your sits bones are remaining rooted and face down on the prop. Keep the head in between the arms. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, teeter to the other side. Inhale, draw the strap back to center. Exhale, bend the strap just behind your head. Feel again the little back bend occurring, but really what we're trying to manage here is decreasing the tension that we hold in the trapezius zone, the upper back and shoulder region. Inhale, lift the arms straight up, and exhale, bring the strap down to the lap. Now we're going to fan that strap open. We're going to loop it behind us. And then once your hands go underneath the pit of the arms, you're going to slide the strap up towards your armpits. And then you're going to take the strap and loop it over each shoulder. So you're creating like a little harness. And then the hands return underneath the arms to find the loose ends of the strap. And then you'll gently pull straight down on the strap as though it's kind of being pulled towards your lap. And notice how it rolls the shoulders back, how it pops open the front door of the heart. And even though you may feel like you're gaining a back bend, really this is setting us up for good posture. And I know we don't typically sit or stand this way, but I just saw this device, and I'm trying to think of where I saw it. It was on YouTube. It was you know how the commercials will come on, and it was showing how someone has created a strap-like device to help to keep the back straighter for people who are often kind of dumping over their desk. You know, we do a lot of forward folding in life, but you can do this with a yoga strap. All right, we're going to go ahead and take the fingertips back to the strap over the shoulders. We'll knock them down and send that strap to the side. Let's go ahead and come to a position where the left leg is in front and the right foot is connecting to the inner thigh. You can grab that strap again if you want to use it, where you're hooking it around the sole of the foot. That will keep the flexion in the ankle. You'll lift up energetically through the top of the head, bring the ends of the strap together, and walk the hands towards the foot. You're trying to maintain a straight back, and you're pressing down through your left thigh. And then we'll do that again. Inhale, lift up through your heart, straighten out through your back. And if you have a little bit more flexibility in your hamstrings, you can fold again. In fact, you can continue that with each breath until you find where you want to hang out, or you find your edge of flexibility where you shouldn't really go any farther. And breathe. Inhale slowly, lift up, remove that strap. We'll take it to the other side in a moment. But what I want you to do now is hook your hand around the pinky toe side of the foot, catch the heel with your other hand, and we're going to make large circles. Remember, the shoulders and the hips are the places in the body that have the ball and socket joint, where we have more movement. And then reverse the circles. And then pull the right knee back underneath the right arm, flex the left ankle, pull up through your chest, lengthen through your left arm for pulling the bow pose. And if you're pulling the foot back so much that your spine's hunching over, don't pull the foot as much so that you can lift the top of your head. And then catch that foot with your hand and draw it in towards your heart. And then extend your right arm. So this is a second variation of pulling the bow pose. And then go ahead and set your right ankle on top of your left thigh, hands behind the back. Lean into them so that your left foot can slide back. And then push through your palms to lift through the shaft of the spine. And hopefully you'll start to feel that right hip. The sensation that it brings in. If you want to scoot closer together, you can. Otherwise, be here. Slow, deep breaths. All right, you're going to slide your left foot out a little bit, not all the way. Long enough to slip the right foot down to join, okay? Then walk the feet back underneath your knees somewhat. Your palms are going to press down on the floor behind your back and you're leaning into your hands. Your feet are then going to push down into the earth so that you can lift the buttocks, draw the shoulders back, let your head lean back, let your tailbone tuck. Breathe into the front of the shoulders. And then exhale, slowly sit back down. All right, your right leg's going to extend this time, and your left knee will open to the side. We're going to use that strap again for Janu Shirshasana. So you can take it around the ball of the foot. You can pull on the strap gently, lift up through the crown, exhale, with the straight back. Bring the hands together, the ends of the strap together, and fold until you find where you can comfortably hold the stretch, where you feel the benefit, but you can obviously and comfortably breathe. So we'll work the hips a little bit as well, because sometimes it's the tightness of the hips that can create some issues with the back. And obviously, yoga is centered around the spine, so we'll continue to work with the back as well. And let's go ahead and inhale. Let's come out of that position. The strap can move to the side. We'll catch the pinky toe side of the foot with the left hand. We'll catch the heel with the right hand. And this is where we're circling the leg. And then take it in the other direction. Now maintain that hold with your left hand, pulling the bow pose, extending the right arm. Keeping your spine more vertical, more erect if possible. And then grab the foot with the right hand, pull it in towards your upper body, separate your left hand away. Pulling the bow pose here. And then we'll set the ankle not on the kneecap, but more on the thigh bone. Hands behind you so that you can lean into them as the right foot comes closer. And then extending the vertebrae again. Activating the left hip. Breathing in and out slowly and deeply through the nose. affirming with calm faith, I open myself to more light. We're just going to use that affirmation today for these different poses. And you can use it more often than I recite it if you can remember it. And then we'll slide the right foot more away so that the left foot can come back down. And then we'll set up again for that altar pose. Feet closer, fingertips face the buttocks. Lean into your hands, push down for your feet, tuck the tailbone, lift off the mat, gaze up towards the ceiling, focus on your breath. With calm faith, I open myself to more light. And then as you exhale, gently lower back down to your seats. All right, come up to stand. And when we come up to stand, we're going to take the feet on that same imaginary line. Bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Circle the arms up overhead, but lean your head back and look towards your hands. Think about ancient civilizations had to depend on the stars. They navigated from the stars. They planted according to the stars. And in modern times, we're always looking down. Let's bring the thumbs to the upper back. Let's drop the chin, look forward. Roll the arms closer in towards the face. Pick up your chest and let your head lean into your hands. Let your neck have support. Feel the back bend. Breathe up into your heart. And then inhale, let the arms relift. Exhale, you're going to fold over the legs, forward and down as a counter position, Uttanasana. Plugging the feet down, pulling the navel in, relaxing and releasing the neck. Now let's go ahead and bend the knees. Inhale, let your arms lift up. Take Utkatasana chair pose. And I'm going to turn my body. You don't have to turn. But I'm going to show you here from chair pose. As we start to elevate back up, we're going to separate the right hand away and the left leg out to the side for a standing 4-point star. Reaching out through all the limbs. And then lower the left foot down and let your arms come down. Hands to prayer position at the heart. Inhale, let your arms circle wide and overhead. Come to upward worship at the top. Exhale, bring the thumbs to the upper back and lower your chin. Inhale, let your arms roll in towards your ears. Let your heart puff up. Hold and breathe in the standing backward bend. Inhale, let your arms fly up again. Exhale, swan dive down. Uttanasana. Softly bending the knees, if that's better for you. Bending the knees, and inhale, lifting the arms back up to your Utkatasana, your chair position. And from that position, as we start to straighten back up, this time the left hand will come down And the right foot will lift up and out. Splay the fingers wide, spread the toes wide. And then safely bring the right foot down and the arms down and stand at the top of your mat. Hands come back to prayer. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, palms together, and this time you're folding down. Now remember, you can use blocks beside the feet, or you can use your hands beside the feet, but we're stepping the left leg way back. And when we step that left leg back, we're going to lift on the inhale, and we're going to sink that knee a little more on the exhale. So we're just kind of pumping up and down with the hips. Now, if you take your blocks, if you're not using them beside that front foot, it's going to build up your trunk and a little easier to come up to crescent lunge. In crescent lunge today with the arms overhead, the front knee lunging. As we exhale, we're going to turn the hands out. We're going to lower the arms and bend the back knee, but we're not coming all the way down. Inhale, the hands flip open. We bring the arms up. We re-straighten the back leg. And as we exhale, the hands swoop down and the back knee bends. One more. Inhale, build up. Exhale, bring it down. With that back knee bent, bring your hands to your blocks. Go ahead and set it to the floor. Untuck the back toes. Lifting the arms back up. Anjaneyasana. Link your hands together. Cup the back side of your head. And lean your head back casually. Bring the hands down, curl the back toes, step the back foot forward. And if you don't want to use the blocks for that first section that we did, step your right foot back and you can just use your hands to pump the hips up on the inhale and to drop them lower on the exhale. Of course, you can have hands on blocks as well. So if you think about it, you know, when we're hunched over, when we're folding forward, we've got that flexion in the hip, right? But here, back leg extended, we're creating an extension of the hip. All right, now bring the blocks in. Reestablish the lunge. Lift the arms up overhead. We'll do that same sequence we did on the other side. So at first, we're in crescent lunge. And then as we exhale, we lower the arms and slightly bend the back knee. Inhale, fly the arms up. Straighten the back leg. Just flow up and down with your breath. And then the next time you bend the knee, bring the hands forward to the blocks. Let them stabilize you as you drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Build the arms up to Anjaneyasana. Lace your fingers together, cup a hold of the back side of your head. Lean your head back and breathe. Release your hands, remove the blocks. Take the left knee back to table. We're setting up for down dog. Toes. Lift up and back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pressing into the mounds of the hands. Shining up through the seat. And affirming with calm faith, I open myself to more light. As you exhale, sink to your knees, untuck the toes, rock the pelvis, but keep it lifted away from modified up dog, and lengthen back to extended child's pose. And then we're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, rock forward, up dog. Exhaling, balasana or child's. Last one, inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, taking it back. Inhale, rocking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing into the balls of the feet, just like you're pressing into the mounds of the hands. Shooting up and down through the vertebrae. Head relaxes down, gazing towards the back of your mat. And then slowly stepping the feet forward. And eventually coming up to stand, arms overhead. Push your wrist up towards the sky. Gaze straight ahead with your eyes. And then exhale, lower the arms down. Okay, this is where I feel like we're in our bodies enough, awake enough to be able to stand directly on our feet, but we're not doing Tadasana. In other words, we're not plugging the feet down, we're not lifting the kneecaps, we're not necessarily locking in the legs, okay? We're just finding our equanimity and just a little softness in our muscular build. Relax your arms. And I want you to close the lids of your eyes. You're going to speak, just like you would with affirmations, silently, mentally within the words. Ask your body's higher intelligence. Ask your higher soulful self. Or reach out to the spiritual realm or the higher power and ask for a sign, for some subtle movement or sensation, for the answer of yes. Scan throughout your body because it may show up differently for you than it does for me. Again, asking your body's higher intelligence, your higher soulful self, or reaching beyond that to the spiritual realm towards the angels or higher power, whatever you believe in, to give you a sign, symbol, movement, or sensation for the answer yes. Staying there And now posing the opposite question, but the same way. Ask your body's higher intelligence, your higher or soulful self, or someone beyond the veil to give you a sign, movement, or sensation for the answer of. Maybe it's a tightening or a loosening, a feeling of heat or coolness, a nudge here or there, or even rocking sensation. Be open to however it shows up. Asking one more time, your body's intelligence, your higher or soulful self, or reaching beyond the veil, asking for a sign, symbol, movement, or sensation for the answer no. And bring your hands together to prayer. Be thankful for anything you received. Even if you received nothing at all, at least you're tuning in and posing the question and knowing that this is a technique that can be available and you can continue to practice later. All right, we're going to bring it back down to the floor. And when you bring it back down to the floor, we're going to take this bolster as well as the blocks. And we're going to set up for Stonehenge, where the two blocks are holding the bolster up, and the blanket can go under your head or over your body. If you want another pose, feel free to take it. Because I always want you to personalize your practice. The affirmation we've been using today is with calm faith. I open myself to more light. Let's go ahead and begin to deepen the in and out flow of the breath. Let's go ahead and catch the knees, hug them in. And instead of rolling, let's just be still. So with the arms lengthening up overhead earlier with the strap, it was elongating the entire spine and opening up space between these vertebrae. But there's something nice about this one that specifically opens up the low back. And after a couple more rounds of breath, we can roll over to one side and build our way up to a seat. Once you come up to a seat, sit with your hands together to prayer. The light within me is humbly bowing in deep, deep respect towards the same beautiful spark of light within you. And with calm faith, may we continue to open up to more light. Namaste.